Hey guys, it's Kate and I hope you're having a fabulous day. I'm doing a quick watercolor painting here and I'm starting out with some pencil drawn, just random abstract shapes on my paper. I'm working with the new BaoHong paper. This is I believe 10 by 7, and this is less than 100 pounds. Yeah, it's 10.2 by 7 inches. And it's less than 100 pounds, but it's in this watercolor block, and it's really been fun to play with. So I'm just going to make some interesting shapes here to do some more brushwork practice. And I'm just going to kind of, I don't know, kind of play around with just some basics. And I'm going to be doing some glazing, some shape work, and try to make something interesting. So I am going to make this little fried egg doohickey here. And then I think that should be good. So I'm working with my Marie's Masters watercolor palette today. And so first I'm going to just choose some colors to fill in here. So I'm going into my Viridian right now and I'm going to choose some shapes to fill in. And they might not be perfect, but I'm going to go along with my sketch. And so I'm just going to choose some shapes sort of at random and put some color into them. And I have a couple of different brushes. I have this flat brush that's a 1/2 inch. I've also got a quill brush near me, but it's been a lot of fun playing with this paper so far. And I just want to do some more experimenting with glazing and things like that. So instead of mixing up a whole bunch of different colors, I'm just going to kind of mix as I go. So I've got the Viridian here. I am going to grab some cadmium red and add it to kind of give it a little bit of a darker tone and kind of neutralize that green just a little bit. And you see this really beautiful kind of earthy color that makes. And this is a great way to practice color mixing also. So I'm going to fill in this shape right here. And I'm working wet over dry today on my sheet. And I'm trying to scatter my watercolor a little bit because I want to keep my edges intact. So I'm going to try to skip around the paper to my different shapes so that I'm not going over wet color. But if I do get a little bit of bleed, that's okay. All right, let me get a little bit more of that cadmium red. And I'm going to do this sort of half circle down here at the bottom. Just like that. And this paper has been really nice. I do see that it has a little bit more warping than the 140-pound watercolor paper, but it has held up really nicely after it dries. And compared to the 140-pound block that I have that's a little bit smaller than this sheet, it has sort of a similar feel. So I've enjoyed it. So I just dipped into Prussian blue and mixed it in with my little puddle there that I've got going. So I'm going to fill in this circle. And looks like I'm just going to stick with the quill brush, which is nice. The point of the round brush just makes it kind of easier to go in some of those small areas. So I like it. Now, the colors in my painting should all go together fairly well because I am mixing as I go. So there's a little bit of every color in all of these colors except for the Viridian. And that's going to be kind of nice because at the end of this, our painting will be kind of cohesive. Now, please excuse these really wonky looking circles here. But we'll we'll just go with it. Okay, so next, I think what I might do is grab some purple red and mix this in, and that makes a really pretty purple. And I'm going to do this little egg yolky thing, or egg white. It's kind of a fun shape. And I'm just making sure to get my bead. I'm trying to go quickly so that I can get around without having a lot of backwash and stuff. But this paper has been performing really well. It maintains its wetness and it stays really easy to work with. So I'm going to be excited to see this all come together. I'm going to have to figure out what I want my background color to be, because I'm going to have to negative paint all of this. All right, I'm going to go into the brilliant purple and brighten that up a bit. And I think I'm going to start with this stripe here. And then we'll just go straight down and add that color. This is great to work on brushwork and all that type of stuff. I think I'll also fill in this circle over here. Just like that. And let's find us a different color. I'm going to go into the Indian red and go back toward earthy tones now. And I like that. It's almost like kind of a mauve color. And I'm going to come over here and add it right in. And this is a great way to practice color mixing. I've been doing a swatch journal, and it's been really great to practice mixing colors and just see how different colors go together and mix together. And you can kind of develop swatch patterns that you like, where you'll have different colors. You'll have different colors that you know will mix well or go well together. So I hope you enjoy those videos too. Okay, we have a lot of cool colors here so far, except maybe this green here, which I really enjoy this green. I am going to go into some yellow ochre, and let's get a nice warm kind of brownish yellow in here. And we'll add a little pop of warmth to our page. Just like that. And I'll fill in this circle down here and this line over here. And I think so far this looks pretty good. All right. Now, for our main shape, which is larger, what do we want to mix? Maybe I can do a little bit of burnt sienna, which is a nice earthy color. Actually, I really like that. That's pretty. Maybe we'll do burnt sienna for our main color. Yeah, why not? All right, let's go into it. And this is kind of a wonky rectangle that I'm about to fill in. I was just kind of freehanding the draw, and it's a little, you know, squishy. But sometimes you need a squishy rectangle. Who's to say? All right, this is a beautiful color. And it still has, even though it's very strong with the burnt sienna, it still has those other colors in it just a little bit, but it's enough to make a difference. This looks pretty good to me. And I'm just following inside of my pencil marks. And I'm not being too precious, but I am trying to be as accurate as I can while I go quickly. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit more color down this way. All right. You know what? Let's do another shape just like this. And we'll have another egg yolky situation. I'm going to grab some more of this burnt sienna and mix it up in my tray. And we'll add another shape with that color. Okay, now let's add a block coming this way. I'm just kind of freestyling now. And I want to make sure I get this filled in to a point that I like it. And since I've been kind of focusing on this burnt sienna a bit here, I am going to kind of make this my focal color. It's really nice and warm, and it just kind of pops out at you. And I really enjoy that. So I am just going to run with this and get it in 3 spots in different areas of my paper. Just like that. And I think that looks pretty good. Okay, let's get another shape going over here. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is grab some of my alizarin crimson and get that mixed in with the burnt sienna and get a nice red. And how about a little L shape there? And actually, why don't we bring it up and bring it out further? And you don't have to draw the shapes like I am. You can freestyle it, do whatever you like. I'm just doing it so I can kind of map out where I want my shapes. And I think I want to put another big circle here. Just like that. And I'm just going to fill in this corner. And why don't we go with indigo for our next mix and darken this up? Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. And I love this indigo color in the Marie's Masters palette. It's really pretty. And again, I'm still getting my other colors in here. Just continuous mixing. And it's got a bit of contrast. So now as I start filling in the rest of my paper, I'm looking for opportunities to have a good amount of contrast with the shape next to it so that we have a lot of good borders going on with our colors. Like that. I'm going to dip back into that indigo and mix up some more, and look at that gorgeous color. Okay, how about we make another sort of T shape just like this. And this got pretty dark, which is great. Okay, now let's go into lemon yellow. Let's get kind of a neat little green going on here. We really don't have any brighter colors, and I think for this I'm going to make a little circle coming up that way, and I'm going to make a little shape coming right through here, and a little dot kind of coming out of the edge there. Oh yeah, that's a good color. And I want to make sure that I leave some white space also, so we can keep some brightness in our page and just have some fun. You know what? I painted the shape next to it, so that's okay. Let's do that. I think I might do one more little shape like that. And yeah, that should be good. I really like that green. It almost wants to kind of take over a bit from that burnt sienna. But it's nice to have that sort of bright little pop. All right, I'm going to let this dry and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and I'm going to start with the black fine liner, and I'm going to go over these pieces where I have my pencil mark. So I'm just going to trace around the outside of all of my shapes. That way we can get some nice strong outlines. So I'm going to go around pretty quickly, and if it's slightly outside a line, I'm not really going to be too concerned with it, just so we get some strong marks on the page. Just like this. Okay, I've done for now with the fine liner. Now, since I've got my burnt sienna, and that is, I think, what I want to be my focal point, I'm actually going to use a complementary color. This is kind of an orange shade, and so I'm going to grab my Posca pen in light blue, and I'm going to put just some little dots around the border. And I don't think I'm going to go all the way around the whole thing, but I'm going to maybe come down the top and right edge of each one. Just like this. And I'm just putting in dots. And I'm going to do this one up here. And come down the right of this one. Just like that. Now I'm going to grab my white Posca pen, and I'm going to come around the inside of this round shape here. Just like that, and maybe this one down here too. Do I want to do another one? Let's do this blue circle. I'm going to grab this blue again and make some little shapes so that I can have this be the definite focal point right here. And I'm just going to scatter some little rectangle shapes down the side of this. And I'm going to do that also here along this long one. I'm not going to do it here, but I want to repeat that in another little area. And I love this blue and orangey color combination. I think it's really cute. And I'm making sure to get my edges. I'm sort of overlapping so that I don't just have them inside. I'm also coming out from the side a little bit so it looks a little bit more scattered. And I'm also changing the direction. Some are more like rectangles, some are more like diamonds, and so forth. Now I'm going to go back to my fine liner, and I'm just going to add some little black dots in a couple of spots, and I'm going to kind of keep it to this area. So I'm going to switch this paper around just so that I don't get any marks on me from the marker that's still wet, and I'm going to make some little lines here. I was going to do dots, but you know what? Let's change it up and get a different pattern. And it's kind of nice having these little patterns kind of come out. And I'm just tracing lightly with my fine liner. And if you have multiple sizes, you can use those. Sometimes when you have different line thicknesses, something very fine, it can be kind of nice to play around with your thicknesses. I'm going to do some lines across this green one too. just like that. And for one more, let's put some lines inside one of these circles. So why don't we just go around the outside of this green shape here? Yeah. Now I'm going to grab my jelly roll and do some diagonal white lines on this green stripe. And that will kind of fade to the background a little bit because there's not a ton of contrast. And I'm going to do the same on this one. I think we have ourselves a pretty good doodle. What do you think? Do we want any other colors on here? I think we did pretty good. And we have some patterns, but it's not overwhelming. And we have some definite interest on this page, and the shapes were a lot of fun. We did a lot of color mixing. I think we can call this good. So I'm going to lift this up and give you a close-up. And I hope you joined along with me for this exercise today. It was a lot of fun playing with color, and we just kind of have this cute little whimsical pattern. So anyway, grab your supplies that you have on hand, whatever writing utensils, watercolors, whatever you have. And I hope you try this with me just to loosen up and have some fun, get some shapes on paper and fill them in with paint. And you never know what you'll get. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. And until next time, keep creating. Bye.